Only 1% of men survive this training. They are pushed to the edge of human endurance, where sleep is a luxury, pain is constant, and failure means elimination. From the freezing waters of the Pacific, to the silent operations in the Indian Ocean, to the burning deserts of Australia, 3 of the world's deadliest special forces rise: the US Navy SEALs, the Indian MARCOS, and the Australian SAS. But here's the question: who trains harder, and what does it really take to become one of the toughest soldiers alive? The US Navy SEALs. The Navy SEALs are America's most famous elite force. Their training program is called BUDS, Basic Underwater D. This program lasts 6 months, but the toughest part comes in just 1 week, known as Hell Week. Candidates run more than 200 miles, sleep less than 4 hours in 5 days, and spend hours in freezing water while carrying boats and logs on their heads. The dropout rate? Over 70%. SEALs are trained in everything: skydiving, demolitions, hand-to-hand combat, and underwater operations. Their motto is simple: the only easy day was yesterday. This mindset of pushing past impossible limits is what makes the Navy SEALs feared across the world. The Indian MARCOS. On the other side of the world, India has its own lethal warriors, MARCOS, Marine Commandos. Their nickname? Dadiwal Fauj, the Bearded Army. Why? Because they often operate disguised as locals during secret missions. MARCOS training is said to be inspired by both Navy SEALs and the British SAS, but with Indian intensity. Their selection has a 90% dropout rate. Only 1 out of 10 survives. They train in skydiving, underwater demolition, mountain warfare, and even hostage rescue. One of their most brutal exercises is being dropped into the ocean for hours, with hands and feet tied. And they must survive without panicking. The MARCOS are designed for speed, stealth, and destruction. Their motto: the few, the fearless. The Australian SAS. Now let's move to the Southern Hemisphere, Australia's SAS, Special Air Service Regiment. Their selection course is legendary. It starts with a 3-week endurance test where soldiers march through mountains, jungles, and deserts with heavy packs. Sleep deprivation and starvation are constant. Then comes the Happy Wanderer, a 125-kilometer solo march across tough terrain with only a map, compass, and survival skills. The SAS emphasizes mental resilience more than anything. You could be the strongest soldier, but if your mind breaks, you're out. They are trained in counterterrorism, reconnaissance, and long-range desert operations. In short, the SAS are ghosts who strike silently and disappear before anyone knows they were there. Who trains the hardest? So, which one is tougher? Navy SEALs are masters of endurance and ocean warfare. MARCOS are fearless commandos, built for stealth and survival. SAS are endurance machines, dominating deserts and mountains. The truth is, each force is designed for different battlegrounds. But what unites them is a single idea: pain is temporary, victory is forever. These men don't just train to fight, they train to think differently, to endure differently, to live differently. That's what makes them elite. And maybe that's the biggest lesson for us. You don't need to be a soldier to adopt the elite mindset. Every day, life will test you with its own hell week. Sleepless nights, failures, pressure, and fear. But if you refuse to quit, you're already one step closer to being unstoppable. So, tell me, Nathan, if you had to choose, which training would you survive? Navy SEALs, MARCOS, or SAS? Comment below. And if you want to see how billionaires train their mind for success, check out my video on why 99% of people never get rich. Point to suggested card. Because the battle starts in the mind before it's ever fought on the ground. This is Elite Mindset YT. Subscribe for more.